Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Evilometer.
Just before we started recording the episode, Chris, you said, "Okay, I'm recording on the machine," and then Mike improvised this song. Oh, you do it, Mike.
Well, okay. I went, machine, recording on the machine.
I love it.
It's good.
I mean, it just came off the top of my head.
Machine,
Yeah.
recording on the machine.
One more time.
Machine, recording on the machine.
Yeah.
It's good.
But
Really
Mike is
good.
just this music machine.
Music is my life.
Oh, after your show at the Transac,
Say what?
your brother Terrence, hi Terrence, probably listening, suggested it'd be good if you did a song too, because you don't have a song in your
Yeah.
whole
Oh,
hour-long
in my
show.
Yes.
I'm gonna throw my hat in there too. I think that's a great idea because
Yeah.
Terrence said this, and I agree. You write the funniest songs.
Well, hello. We remember from the last Evil Men live show, Mike's song about the Kelsey Grammer sitcom called Hank. I mean,
Literally
that was
became a hit. Literally, you made a hit in
Top of
2
the charts.
seconds.
Well, I did consider putting a song in, but I then didn't know what the song would be, and I didn't put it in yet. Maybe I will. Maybe I'll do a
You
song.
should.
I can't believe it. It's my grandfather was murdered.
Maybe I'll put a song in, everybody.
You could always test it out on the episode, you know.
La, la, la,
Testisode.
Yeah.
La la la. Mike, because you can't you've sang at live performances.
Yes.
Is that a real thing? Do singers go la 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 la?
And I guess as a warm up, maybe as a formal warm up, maybe. Yeah. Yeah.
You know what warm up I do?
Sure.
Do re mi fa sol la ti do. Pretty good, eh?
Do you think you could go from really low to really high, the 3 octaves?
Should we all try?
Okay, you go first.
Do re mi fa sol la ti do.
But you can keep going.
And then start from the last do.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Do 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 re mi fa sol la ti do.
It's pretty good. 2 octaves. Okay, I'll try, okay?
I've never done that.
Do do re mi fa sol la ti do re mi fa sol la ti do.
Wow, it was very operatic.
Oh, you know what? I just realized I'm ripping off the Trip.
They did. They
They
tried
do it in
that.
that, yeah. But
Oh.
whatever, we can
Still,
still
we're
do it.
influenced. If
I
you're
have-
influenced by it, it's good for us to try.
Yeah.
I have no.
We
bottom.
can also do Michael Caine impressions for half an hour.
Yeah. Mike, you
You're
can't.
only supposed to blow the bloody doors off.
Mike, you're not able to do the.
Oh, I have no bass in my voice. Like I can hardly go low.
That's because you're a eunuch.
Let's hear
Oh,
you
damn
try.
it. All right.
Do.
Do. I'm just pushing air. Do re mi fa sol la ti do re mi fa sol la ti do re mi fa sol la. Ah!
Yes. Still.
Can't do it.
Still. There's a
Wow.
lot of range in there.
We're
Wow.
3 singers for hire. If you've got a party or a funeral, we'll sing for it.
Baby on board.
How I adore with that sign on the car's window pane. I'm telling you, it's mighty
I don't know the
nice.
rest of the words.
Each trip's a trip to paradise with my baby on board.
Wow, I haven't heard that song in 49 years.
Yeah, me
Have you
neither.
seen
It just
the,
stayed in my head for 20
Wow.
years.
Have you guys seen the vid of the all-white a cappella band singing Carmen Sandiego theme song?
Oh, yeah, I used to watch that show.
Yeah, it's
Do
really
it,
funny.
rockapella.
Why do they all have insane?
Well, she's on a slow. She's a fixture from Milan down to Belize. She'll take you on a ride on a slow boat to China. Tell me where. in the world is
Carmen San Diego.
to go from there to Norway, to Zimbabwe, from Moscow to Czechoslovakia and back. Well, she'll run a scam and pull a scam in Scandinavia. That's all I remember.
But you got to see the video. You haven't seen it?
I mean, is it just Rockapella, the group?
But it's like the guys that did it, I guess.
Right.
Okay.
You haven't seen it?
Well, I don't know. I used to watch the show. I used to watch Where in the World is Carmen San
Is it
Diego,
like
the
did-
show.
Did they reunite to do this song?
I mean, you can't show
No,
us the video
no.
because
We are
you
going
can't
to.
see it on the podcast.
We can cut it out and then you can play it. But like,
Was
All right.
Carmen San Diego
no,
like
we need to continue with you guys knowing this.
Okay.
I'll pause it.
Was
I'm pausing it. Okay, so some of you know the video that's been passing around on Instagram and TikTok.
And if you can't tell,
James
we
and
just
Mike
paused.
just saw it.
We just paused for about 5 minutes and watched the video, and now we're back.
But what it is in 1993, is it Rockapella?
That's Rockapella.
That's
Rockapella
Yeah, yeah.
do, it's all
Yeah.
these white guys with insane hair choices
Yeah.
doing the Carmen San Diego theme song. I thought James had seen it for sure.
Well, I've seen them.
That's why I was doing the beatbox
But
just
they were
now.
on the show.
But you get like
They were
on the show. They
yeah,
perform the it live on the show every episode.
Are you serious?
Yeah, dude.
I thought it was a cartoon.
No, it was a trivia show on PBS where and you'd guess geography questions, and Rockapella, that band, sang the song live every episode. They probably made a killing.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
But-
it was a great show.
Oh, I'm
the bass-
sorry. I thought I was showing
no, I
you
mean,
like
it's worth watching.
because it was a
It's
cartoon
amazing.
too, right?
But the bassman, I think there may
Maybe,
have been
yeah.
afterwards. But there were
I'm an idiot.
the
No.
bassman in the group who goes, Carmen San Diego. He says it with sort of
Yeah.
like a glint in his eye, and he
Yeah.
has it's a crazy ponytail.
He has very
It's a
short
rat
hair,
tail.
Yeah.
but a rat tail that's braided all the way down
and
his
you
back.
can't why even have that rat tail? You can't tell he has it unless
Yeah.
you get a glimpse of his back, and then you see this gross fucking rat tail.
'Cause it's
I can't believe you
cool.
guys already knew that. I was like,
Yeah.
I thought I was seeing like the peek behind the curtain there.
No, I see Rockapella all the time, man. But it's because to have a cool, deep, booming voice, bass voice, is really
Carmen
cool.
San Diego.
It's cool.
Yeah.
It's authoritative. It's like domineering.
Like
But
Darth
then-
Vader.
Yes, but then he kind of ruins it by having a little rat tail.
Imagine
Yeah.
Darth Vader had a rat tail coming out of the back of his helmet.
And he sang in a doo-wop group.
Luke, 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 Luke. Luke, I am your father.
Well, Luke, he's your father. No way, you're my father. That doesn't make sense, man.
I hear that they used to have to. Rockapella often held up the shooting of Carmen San Diego in the studio because they had so many groupies. And they were always in the dressing room having so much sex.
Yeah.
Well, you know what?
I heard it was
disgusts-
Debauchery 3000.
Ab-
You know what
Absolutely.
disgusts me to admit? The guy who with the deep, deep, deep voice with the rat tail.
Yeah.
A thing that popped into my mind was, I bet he had a huge wang.
Oh, yeah.
Don't you think? Like
the
your
rat
voice
tail is the
that
length of
deep?
his wang, for sure. It's like
Oh
symbolic.
yeah, and probably even wider than the rat tail. Rat tail.
Yeah, you don't want anyone calling your dick a rat tail.
I love
You
you,
know who
little rat
loved?
tail, baby.
You know who loved Rockapella?
Who?
Sable Star.
Sable Star.
Ah, the
Wrestler?
no, she was that groupie that loved all the
Oh.
like New York punk bands, like Iggy Pop
Right,
and like stop. Deep
B-
cut.
B.B. Buell and Sable Star.
Yeah.
Maybe
right.
we could add
Sorry.
a link to this
Deep
video
ass cut.
in the description.
I know, but I'm like I think I was a slightly I don't know why I didn't really see the. I think I was a bit older.
You
for
were a bit
Carmen
older. It probably would have
Sandiego.
been weird for you to watch.
I didn't know that those guys were on the show live.
Yeah.
I thought they just did the theme song.
Another weird haircut in Rockapella.
Yeah,
The first guy singing has
It's
also
really-
a rat tail. I think he had two rat
it's
tails.
really bizarre.
And then the guy with the high voice has like a Rachel from Friends haircut.
Yeah, it's
really
almost
poofy.
like David Spade blonde hair that like flops up and down. when
but
you
blow
move.
dried a lot.
Yeah, blow dried a lot.
It's like almost like if Kurt Cobain had been in Rockapella. He had kind of like
right. He's like
Yeah.
grunge, but
Yeah.
I'll be the grunge guy. Oh, what's going on here? Someone's taking a selfie with maybe us in the window.
Hey, come on. That's not cool.
Oh yeah, we're recording
think
it, Bob.
We're
Bizarre.
pod stars.
Um,
We're trying to talk about Rockapella. Come on.
it is weird.
It is weird. What? Get away from us, sir.
Well,
Okay, so we're back at Bob Bazaar.
Unless they're fans, maybe.
Maybe they're like, hey, we saw I don't know. We're back at Bazaar, though. And there's that big window again, which distracts us when we do these episodes.
Yeah.
But it's fun.
We can try facing the other way. I just feel like facing this way gives us a great background.
yeah.
And facing a big dark window might be weird. But
Maybe-
Also, I'm kind of like, I learned from Wild Bill Hickok, like I can't have my back facing the door or the window.
No.
Some
someone
of
might
my
come in and
yeah.
slit your throat.
blow my brains out.
Might sneak in, give you a kiss.
Someone might sneak in and blow my fucking brains out.
I'm feeling really depressed. I might blow my fucking brains out. I can't pay my rent and my girlfriend left me. My career is going nowhere.
It's the
and
nerdiest like beatboxing.
Do you think how much do you think Rockapella made at the height of their success on Carmen Sandiego, the TV
Well,
show?
here's the thing. I mean, it was the 90s. I don't know how much money you're making back then. And it was PBS.
Doo-wop was big.
But they were on every episode.
Yeah.
So,
Hopefully they had a good manager.
yeah, like, I don't know. Like, maybe they must have made thousands
They
a week.
each made $40 million.
I would love to know this
Yeah.
question because
They got paid the same as the cast of Friends.
yeah. Wow. I mean, they deserve it. I've
Yeah.
never heard. I mean, that song. I'll never forget it until the day I die.
No.
No.
In fact, you requested that to be played at your funeral, right?
That's right.
Where in the world is Carmen Sandiego?
That's right.
Yeah.
Where in the world is James Hartnett at your funeral? Those guys singing that.
In the world is James Hartnett.
He was alive yesterday, and now we can't find him today.
His soul escaped his body and it went up to heaven or hell.
Where in the hell is James Hartnett? And everyone's going, crying their ass off.
Beautiful. That is beautiful.
Yeah, so Rockapella probably that didn't kick off like a little scene for acapella like doo-wop in the 90s, did it? Or the 80s?
Not like how like Spin Doctors kicked off a scene for really lame shit. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's shit. Like they're almost in that world.
Michael, I wonder if
Like
it's-
Moxie Fruvis.
if it's
Yeah.
more that the rockapella was like the result of a barbershop movement because in Canada there was a band called the Nylons, that were
Nylons.
kind of famous.
Oh.
And
Yeah.
my wife's mom owned a number of their CDs, and they're like a barbershop quartet
Well, I
in
think
the
their,
80s.
their biggest hit, the Nylons, who I think were from Toronto, was they did a cover of that song "Kiss Him Goodbye," like na 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 na. Hey hey hey.
No,
Goodbye.
They covered Do you think when one of them was having
My wife's
sex,
mom owned a bunch of nylons.
Do you think when one of them was having sex, they'd accidentally drift into like
I'm
It's-
about to finish.
like sorry, hon.
Well, you say that you can't feel it, but I say it's all the way in there. Where in the hell is my tiny penis?
Do you like my haircut? It is a rat tail and it is disgusting.
I lured you with my haircut, and now you're disappointed.
All my friends are in the next room and they're listening to us do it.
We all live together because we practice 24/7.
The toilet's disgusting because there's 8 of us who use it.
After I'm done with you, I am next.
Oh God!
It's just Rockapella waiting to have sex with the same person.
Hi, I'm Rockapella's girlfriend.
What? Do you guys mind if I go wash my hands after eating cream and onion chips?
Sure, Mike and I will hold down the fort.
You think you can do it?
Yeah, go ahead, Chris.
All right,
Yeah,
good
we
luck,
have
guys.
plenty to talk about.
Yeah,
It'll be
it's
perfectly
not
fine.
awkward
you,
at all.
You take your time, Chris.
So then there were 2.
How are things.
Fine. How are things with you?
Not so hot.
Oh.
The things are good. I have a story to tell. I'll wait till Chris.
Should we wait
gets
for
back
Chris?
here.
Okay.
But what else happened? I saw. Here's an interesting thing. I'm reading a book about the IRA bomb, the plot that where they tried to kill Margaret Thatcher.
Oh yeah.
In 1984, where they blew up a hotel that she was staying in.
Wow.
And there's a Canadian connection.
Ooh.
So
They were eating Timbits
Eating
while they
Timbits.
did it.
saying this, every Timbit represents the soul of an Irishman. No, there was an IRA fundraiser who would get money and guns from Whitey Bulger. The
We did
Boston
him.
guy.
Yeah.
Right. So this IRA fundraiser, this guy named Joe Cahill, because he was like wanted in America, he wasn't allowed to travel in. He got around it by flying to Montreal during like a weekend when the Habs were playing the Bruins in Boston, and he would get on a fan chartered bus full of Habs fans in Montreal, cross the border where the border guards would just like wave the bus of hockey fans through, get to Boston, have meetings with the Boston mob, and then go back on the bus to Canada to fly back.
That is
to
crazy.
Ireland.
So that's crazy. So an IRA guy who was going to blow up Margaret Thatcher was like using the Montreal Canadiens as a shield.
Sitting on a bus full of Habs fans.
Wow. Come on, Guy Lafleur. He's going to score. What do you think? I don't know.
Go Habs, go.
Go. Yeah.
Go Habs, go.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
crazy. That's a crazy story.
You never know who's on your hockey bus.
We should do a segment called Michael's Tidbits.
Michael's titties. We could call it. No, wait.
With a D, titties.
Michael's titties.
Well, Chris, now
I
that
am
you're
back. Oh, this is weird, but there's I don't want to alarm you guys, but there's a dead body in the bathroom.
Oh yeah, I saw it.
We'll be fine, eh?
Yeah. it's-
Okay, let's go. Let's go. Let's just get this done.
Mike Mike has a story.
Oh, I'm excited.
I wanted you to be here for it too, Chris. So on Sunday, I met my mom for brunch, and we went to the restaurant near her that we always go to. And
You're not gonna dox the
I'm not going
restaurant.
to dox the restaurant, but
Okay.
it's very good, high quality, mid-priced food. And we had been there for a while, and we had ordered our food, and we talked a bunch. And as soon as the food arrived, and I cut into my omelet and put the first forkful into my mouth, my mom leaned over and said, "So my new toilet arrived, and I have a video of it, and it flushes like a dream." And she showed me a video of how it has an automatic. The seat raises and lowers automatically.
Wow.
That's great.
I mean, I guess not what you wanted to hear about while you're eating, but I mean, that's cool.
I was like, "Mom, I'm gonna."
You just projectile vomit across the table.
Yeah, but yeah.
Wow, she got a toilet made by the same people who made the Sky Dome.
It takes 45 minutes to lower the seat.
There's all these fans cheering.
Sometimes it gets stuck.
Wow.
That's great. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Were you
it's
mad
like,
at your
Mom,
mom?
I'm eating.
Mom, I'm trying to eat my omelet.
Yeah.
Now I'm picturing omelets coming out of your butt.
Mom, honestly, I love you, but there's a time and place for everything, and this is not it.
Oh man.
Also getting a new shower head installed.
Your
So-
mom is.
Yes.
Are one of the Belazzo brothers going to install it for her?
No, because otherwise it would never work properly, and we would probably die of a heart attack from the stress. Not a handy family. Although I can do IKEA furniture pretty well.
Yeah, I've heard of this.
So can I'm not that handy either, and I can do some stuff, but let's be honest, I'm clumsy with my hands.
Mm-hmm.
How about you, James?
I was really bad, and I've made a strong effort the last several years, and I think I'm getting toward okay, or not embarrassingly bad. I'll put it that way.
I would say I'm there. I'm okay as well.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: we're clearly artists, right, guys? We have we have
we
talents.
are.
Yes. We see the
Thanks.
world in a particular way that makes us better than the regular people on the street.
Well, I'm just trying to say, like, if we're
Yeah.
not manly men with these
Yeah.
kind of crazy, like, doing these kind of manual labor all day, every day,
Yeah.
Mhm.
what were types of guys like us doing 500 years ago, say?
Oh.
We were like in the like in the court trying to like win favor of the king and gossiping about about our rivals, plotting against everyone, or scholars who got arrested by the church for saying like, "Oh, that star is cool, isn't it?" They're like, "God didn't make that star. We're gonna burn you at the stake."
Or we might have been priests.
I've been priests. That's true.
So,
Or we would have been wiped out by any illness that came by.
Yeah. Or strong man.
so
Yes.
not much difference than today.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, that's true.
Would we have been the court jester?
Maybe.
I think you might have been. You probably would have been a court jester, Chris. I probably would have been a priest, and I guess Mike would have been the gossiping
yeah, courtier.
guy.
Yeah,
Courtier.
courtier.
Or is that what the
Yeah.
word is?
Courtier?
I don't know.
Yeah,
Oh.
but some of those guys in Game of Thrones, they had the most power. I know it's a medieval fantasy.
Littlefinger. That motherfucker.
Is that Dinky?
Dinky.
Little Dinky.
Oh, you mean Dinklage? No, that
No.
he is
He's a Lannister.
Tyrion.
Oh,
Was it
okay.
Tyrion Lannister? Yeah. But he, you know what? Yeah, he was like a gossip basically who had a lot of power.
My knowledge of the medieval era is Game of Thrones.
Guys like us would have had to choose to either be Gollum or
A
Bilbo
dragon.
or dragon.
A dragon
yeah.
rider.
Bilbo.
Sorry.
Baggins.
It's a funny name. J.R.R. Tolkien must have laughed his ass off in some pub in 1940 or whenever when he wrote that.
What are you laughing at?
Oh, sorry. I just thought of
No.
the silliest name.
Stop laughing. The Blitz is happening. We're being bombed right now. I just came up with a funny elven language. I think he wrote it before.
Oh, yeah. It's way older, isn't it?
Was that the siren there?
I think so, yeah.
Oh, no, but the
That's
Blitz
present day.
sirens,
Right.
they're so haunting.
They're haunting y'all.
And then gas masks. They're all wearing gas masks and
Yeah.
shit. Fuck,
You hear
eh?
stories about how during the Blitz in London, almost as like an act of defiance that like cinemas and like cabarets and nightclubs stayed open like while bombs were falling. And can you imagine
Wow.
going to see some absolute dog shit movie in 1939 or 40 and getting just
Starring Alistair Sim.
being obliterated by you're trying to watch A Christmas Carol?
Wait, what time?
Or like a
what
silent
we-
Hitchcock movie, and then
Yeah.
your body just bursts into flames.
God, see, here's my brain malfunctioning again. But God, I had the perfect like British era Alfred Hitchcock actors' names, and I can't even remember. Leslie Howard? No, not Leslie Howard, but one of those guys. You know what I'm talking about? Fuck. Yeah. Show must go on.
That'd be like if
Getting like blown to bits.
if we were at a bad stand-up show and still went, even though
You go to an
America
open
was-
mic and then you just
America
incinerate
was
it.
dropping bombs on us.
Yeah.
It's strip
Comedian
comedy.
comes on stage and goes, "So I'm neurodivergent," and then it's like, "So yes, the siren's bothering me especially."
So, people like us can't make jokes about our culture.
You're not allowed to say anything. Holy fuck!
Our next guest is a musical comedian who plays the ukulele.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah. There is a musical instrument in your one-man show. Do you want to save it for people to go see it?
It's currently in there. Will it stay in the final form? Only time will tell.
The way you used it made me laugh.
Thank you, Chris.
James, are we wetting your whistle?
You
That's
are
not the wetting your
my whistle.
appetite.
No, I can't. I
Are we wetting your whistle, sir?
I just
That
went,
sounds like a bad
Yeah.
British.
Wet your whistle, sir.
oh, go on then, wet my whistle. All right, sir.
All right. And
me
pisses in his mouth. All right.
Oh!
You're sitting in a cinema in 1940 eating a bag of liver and onions watching a terrible movie.
48 dead at screening of Wet My Whistle, sir. Blown to bits.
Gentlemen, I bet you're wondering why I gathered you all here today.
Yes. Before we get to this week's Evil Man, I wanted to tell you all that we have a Patreon account. Patreon.com/evilmen. And you sign up and you give us a coin or two, and you get 2 bonus episodes a month. And you can join our Discord and you help us. And we love help. We love it so much. Oh my God. So please check it out, everyone. Patreon.com/evilmen.
May I add, we've noticed that, like at the end of each month, we tend to lose a few patrons, you know? Bills come in, you might cut your expenses, you might unsubscribe from a beloved podcast Patreon. I just like to put the idea out there that we do keep records of who unsubscribes. We do know who you are, and we will, in our own time, seek revenge and seek justice.
Having said that, don't let that deter you, because that's fine. It
is fine.
It's fine,
but also we will seek justice.
Well, okay. Yeah. I won't. So if you only want to do it for a short time,
will you seek justice?
Don't let that deter you. What Mike just said.
Will you seek justice?
I will probably ask my therapist why you guys don't like me.
Okay.
Not you guys, the people who unsubscribed.
Well, I guess I'm seeking justice on my own then.
Not unusual for you. You're really good at it at this point. Basically, black ops.
It's
justice dealer at this point, right?
Basically.
Here's one thing about Mike that a lot of the Evil Men fans might not know. You can never hear him coming.
Oh, that's true.
Mm-hmm. He'll sneak up on ya.
Chris, do you want to give a little shout out to the wonderful store Bob Bazaar?
Yo, check this out. We're recording Evil Men again at Bob Bazaar, the coolest store on Roncy. That's 73 Roncesvalles here in Toronto. It's so cool. It's got a little bit of this. It's got something for the kids. It's got tons of stuff for the adults, hip, teens, everything. Bob Bazaar is the best. And we record here sometimes because it's an open space where we don't have to manage who's at our houses or our apartments. And Sophia and Nicole, the owners of Bob Bazaar, are so kind to let us chill here and be silly after hours. And we get to be surrounded by all the cool wares that they deal here. Incredible stuff like unique lamps, candles, pictures, teapots, stuffies for children, vintage children toys, vintage clothes that are pretty awesome, scarves, jams, glasses, and a mirror. There's look, honestly, everything here is unique and neat. There's something here for everyone at Bob Bazaar. And trust me, I've tried to come in here during the daytime when it's open. It's hard to squeeze in.
Really?
There's so many customers talking all at once. Looking at everything.
That's a sign of a good store.
And might I add, everything you see in the store is for sale, but also, if you're looking for something that's a little hard to get a hold of, just ask and they might have it behind the counter.
That's right. Bob Bazaar. One of the coolest stores in all of Toronto's history of being a city. And it's right here at 73 Roncesvalles. Roncy neighborhood, the coolest. Tons of places to get a good bite to eat around the area. It's just make a day of it. We'll see you there.
Hello, may I speak to Mr. Hartnett, please?
Speaking.
Hey, this is the government of Canada calling. And is this a good time to talk?
Well, I am about to host a podcast.
Well, it's sort of about that. For our records, we need to know who the subject of this week's Evil Man is.
Well, it's funny you say that, because the subject of this week's Evil Men is a guy named Charles Boycott.
What?
Now I ask you both, have you ever heard of Charles Boycott?
I've heard of Charlie Brown. I've heard of a boycott, but I've never heard of Charles Boycott. Are you sure you have the right name?
1,000% sure.
Okay.
Chris, ever heard of this guy?
I've heard of boycotting things.
Well,
Is that what you just said?
this topic
That's about it. Charles Mingus, Charlie Parker. I'm going down a jazz rabbit hole.
this topic was suggested on our Discord by Liz. Thank you, Liz. It was I think it's a really interesting story, and I
Nice.
wouldn't
Thank you,
have
Liz.
found it if
Thank
not
you,
for
Liz.
Liz on the Discord.
Lizzo or Liz?
I think just Liz.
Is
Okay.
Lizzo on our Discord?
I'm sorry.
We banned her
No.
after she got in some trouble for body shaming.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
allegations from her dancers. So we kicked her off. Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Why do people always get mean after they get rich and famous?
I don't know. What's your favorite Lizzo song? I
The
only
one
know
with the piano, I
yeah,
guess.
I don't know. Okay, Charles Boycott was born in 1832 in Norfolk, England.
We gonna go way back.
Now, interestingly, at the time he was born as he was born with the name Charles Boycott. What a weird name! It sounds like a bad superhero.
Boycat.
Boycat. Yeah.
But in 1841, his family changed their name from Boycat to Boycott. I don't know
Did
why.
boycott mean what it meant back then?
It did not. It did not.
So did I just find a little hint of the origin of the story of this man?
You may
You
have.
solved the episode.
This is why you can't watch mystery shows with me.
So in 1840, nobody knew the term boycott. Not a single
Hi,
person.
I'm Boycott. No big deal.
Exactly.
Hi, I'm Mancat. Have you seen my sidekick?
Boycat.
Nope, just us boycotts here. All right, guess I'll have to solve crime myself.
So
Thanks for your polite
Charles.
fake laugh, Mike. I really was like,
you're accused. That's. I mean, to a comic, that's the gravest insult. Accusing someone of a.
That was a
laugh.
genuine laugh about the joke about a bad superhero.
what was his name?
Man cat.
Okay. I believe you.
So Charles Boycott, he came from a wealthy Protestant family in England. Charles grew up and wanted to be in the army, so he went to a military academy, but kind of flunked out.
How do you flunk shooting a gun at a guy?
It reminds me of Pauly Shore in the army now.
Tup, parrup, parrup, tup, 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 parrup, tup, tup.
But luckily, he has this rich family, so his family basically bought his way into an officer position in the 39th Foot Regiment of the British Army for £450. And I looked that up, and £450 in 1850 is like £100,000 today.
Whoa!
Yeah, and that was the thing you could do back then. You just buy your kids into the
So
army
the
in
officer
a
class
high up
were
position.
like aristocratic. Then the officer class could just buy their way up.
Yeah,
Okay.
I 100% think that still happens to this day.
in the military.
Yes. Yes.
remember when
Because there's rich people that don't want to get their hands dirty but still want to boss everyone around.
who's the actress who's William H. Macy's wife? I'm blanking on her name, but she got in trouble for buying her kids good grades or something.
Oh,
didn't
her
she?
and
Oh, speaking of, yeah,
those actresses got one of them went to jail. I forget their names.
Felicity
Huffman. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
it's kind of the same.
From Sopranos.
So
Wasn't she from Sopranos?
I don't think
don't
so.
know.
Oh, I get them mixed up. Sorry.
That's okay.
The woman from Sopranos is amazing.
Oh, Melfi, the psychiatrist.
No, his wife.
Oh, Edie Falco.
Edie Falco.
Carm.
That's who.
Yeah,
Yeah, I get those two actresses
she
mixed up.
rocks.
But yeah, Edie Falco rules. Can we do this about Edie Falco?
Well, no, unfortunately, Chris, I've already done the research for.
Then I'm going to boycott this podcast.
Oh well, wait until you learn more. So
Okay.
Charles Boycott is in the army, and his regiment is transferred to Belfast shortly after his arrival. So Ireland at this time was, of course, colonized by England. To give a little context, and Boycott and his army guys eventually got moved to Dublin.
Hey, shout out to Cillian Murphy.
Yes, finally getting his due.
I always thought he was the best actor.
He is good. Anyway,
No comment.
Oh,
Oh,
Micah, how
shit.
dare you? So in the early 1850s, Charles Boycott got married to a woman named Anne Dunn. He left the army but decided to stay in Ireland. Eventually, he got an inheritance, another Nepo baby, and he decided to move to a place called Achill Island on the west coast of Ireland. So, on Achill Island, Charles Boycott subletted 2,000 acres of land from the Irish Church Mission Society, which was an Anglican group that set out to convert Irish Catholics. Right off the bat, everyone in Achill Ireland hated Charles's ass. Charles was accused of assaulting a neighbor and was accused of not paying his debts. So everyone hated him. But eventually he did become kind of rich from farming and owning this land.
What was his religious belief?
He was a Protestant.
Ah.
So, 1873, Charles moves to a place in Ireland called the Low Mask House in County Mayo. Now, if you don't know where County Mayo is, it's right between County Mustard and County Ketchup.
That's a delicious county sandwich.
Yeah, no bread, just ketchup, mustard, and mayo. Not a loaf, not a slice of bread in that.
It's quite a mess when the rains come down.
Delicious. Pinch it all between your fingers.
Yes, put it on a plate, a bit of ketchup, a bit of mustard, and a bit of mayo, and you got yourself an Irish sandwich.
They can't take that away from us.
No, the British can come and subject us to all sorts of things, but they'll never take away our Irish sandwich. So, Charles Boycott, and he's in County Mayo, and
So he's kind of a jerk.
he's a total
Yeah,
asshole
yeah.
basically, and even
Nepo jerk.
yeah, and he actually is something that Michael I know hates.
Oh, God.
So, in County Mayo, Charles Boycott is working as a representative for a guy called Lord Earn. And this guy, Lord Earn, was one of the largest landowners in Ireland, and Boycott was responsible for 1,500 acres of Lord Earn's land. So, at this time in Ireland, the vast majority of the land was owned by a very small number of people. Basically, all the land in Ireland was owned by like 10,000 people, and they were basically all absentee British rich people. And so Boycott's working for one of these British guys as a landlord, basically.
Right. Okay.
So he's subjugating his own people?
Well, no, because they
He's
thought of the
English.
they as second-class citizens. So he's an
Yeah.
Englishman.
Oh, sorry.
Goes
I got
over to
mixed up.
Ireland when England had it as a colony, and they didn't treat the Irish people very well.
Sorry, that was my not paying attention.
No, it's okay. So the lease situation that Charles Boycott had set up was farmland, right? And so the farmers were only allowed to have leases for a single year, which meant like you would only be a year away from being possibly evicted.
Right.
And it's tough with farms because if you have a bad crop or whatever, it's hard to pay the bills, right? So there's this really unfair situation. And people in Ireland at the time were really fed up and upset. And this was called the Land War. And Irish people they called it the 3 Fs. Fair rent, fixity of tenure, don't know what that means, and free sale. I don't really know what they mean by that either, but
Fixity of tenure sounds like it would be like a guarantee that you could stay there.
yeah, maybe longer leases.
Mhm.
And what was the last one?
Free sale.
Free sale.
Mm.
Can they sell their
Free
crops as they wish? Or I don't know.
Sure.
Who knows?
Or their houses?
Take my house.
Real estate.
I grew it in a field.
So, at a meeting of the Irish Land League,
Yeah.
a member of Irish Parliament named Charles Parnell gave a speech.
Oh, God, I just got finished rereading Dubliners,
Oh, yeah.
and I've read about half of Portrait of the Artist of a Young Man. I needed to take a break though, because gee whiz, Joyce's Dublin pill day. But Charles Purnell, he was a big. He comes up so much in Joyce's tales. He was a big deal at this time.
And
okay,
it's so crazy.
interesting.
He's the voice of the dad in Rick and Morty too. It's like so talented.
I know. He does really well.
Yeah, and he's in Fallout, I think. Anyway.
Yeah, he's really funny in Fallout.
Yeah.
Oh, we have an old great friend who probably doesn't listen to Evil Men because it'd make him uncomfortable. But he's one of the funniest, most brilliant guys we know, Graham Wagner. He co-showrun and co-created Fallout, which is on Amazon right now. And it's incredible.
It's really good.
It's
and
doing so well,
so
and
happy
it's
for
so
Graham. He's
funny,
such an
and it's
awesome
so
guy.
good. And Graham's sense of humor is all in the show. You can it's very good.
And
If you haven't seen Fallout yet, check
and
it
it's
out.
nice of us to give a little bump to Fallout because
Well, Amazon Prime doesn't
Yeah.
have that big of a reach, not as much as the Sonar Network.
Have you
So
heard
if
of Fallout? Speaking of Sonar Network,
Yeah.
I don't. Has anyone? Where are those guys?
I
I never hear boo from them.
I text with them. Sometimes.
How often?
Well, you
Be
know when I
honest.
can't sleep. No, Michael is. I've checked in with him a few times
Yeah.
recently.
No, Michael's. They're all. Sonar is great,
Yeah.
but
Can I tell you the
Congratulations.
I mean, I don't want this to seem like I'm negging you guys,
Okay.
but I think you guys sometimes wouldn't respond to the emails, and I would just tell you what the email said, and then I think he just thought, well, maybe I'll just
No,
message
no.
James because he relays it to
I
you
was
guys.
literally just about to admit that.
Yeah.
I-
I don't have a problem with it, but I just tell you what they say.
I lazily stopped paying attention to some stuff because you'll see it on the go and then you'll forget to go back.
I get it. I don't mind.
You're really good at that stuff, James.
Hey, it's part of my role here.
Thank you for everything you do, Sonar,
This is all to say, congratulations, Graham Wagner, for Fallout.
and congratulations, Sonar, for knowing guys who know Graham who made Fallout.
So shall we go back to Charles Boycott?
Yes.
So just to reset the stage here. It's
I know who
18
Charles Purnell is. I'm so smart.
Yeah, it's the 1860s. It's Ireland. Charles Boycott, who has an interesting last name, is a shitty landlord in Ireland. And the Irish people at the time are really upset about the renting situation for farmers in Ireland. And a Irish member of parliament named Charles Parnell, that Chris read about, gave a speech. And Charles Parnell in the speech said, "What should you do to a tenant who bids for a farm from which his neighbor has been evicted?" And the crowd shouted, "Kill them!" And he said, "No, there is a better, more charitable."
He said, "You guys always say kill them. Just wait a second."
"There is a better, more charitable, more Christian way. When a man takes a farm from which another has been evicted, you must shun him on the roadside when you meet him. You must shun him in the streets of the town. You must shun him in the shop. You must shun him in the fair green and in the marketplace, and even in the place of worship, by leaving him alone, by isolating him from the rest of his country as if he were a leper of old. You must show him your detestation of the crime he committed."
James,
Damn.
let's clap for that.
Thank you.
That was awesome. I genuinely hope you get some work from that clip.
Thank you. Anyone
post
Charles
it.
Parnell's story.
Yeah.
That
You've
was
got the
really
perfect guy
good.
to play him.
Really good.
Thank you. Well, so now it's kind of in the air in Ireland.
And he was directing
This-
this at Charles Boycott, basically?
Well, actually, he was directing it at its slightly different.
Tenants.
Yeah, like if you got evicted, Mike, and then I go, I'll
Right.
take Mike's
Right, right,
farm.
Right.
This Irish guy's like, hey, we should shun that guy. Just ignore
Right.
him.
I see.
You're like a scab or like a
Yeah.
sellout or
So
like.
now this idea
opportunist.
is in the air in Ireland. What
Yeah.
if someone
I
sucks?
can feel Charles Purnell in the air tonight.
It's like what if someone sucks? What should we do? Let's shun them, ignore them.
Honey,
Yeah.
I got shunned at the shop.
So
I got shunned holding me potato.
I was shunned for fucking a potato.
A British potato.
Um,
Yo, what happens if you fuck like a British chick? It's a guy in like that big meeting in the back.
He's from California for some reason.
A time traveler that's an idiot. Are we allowed to fuck like British chicks?
Who let this man in the meeting?
I gotta fix my time machine. It's all fucked up.
So, here's Charles Boycott. He's this British rich landlord and these downtrodden Irish farmers being treated poorly. Charles is their landlord, and believe it or not, this wealthy, entitled British settler guy living in the 1870s was not a super cool landlord.
Oh, no.
He sucked. You couldn't text him at 9 p.m. and ask, hey, the fridge door isn't shutting properly. Could you come by? No. Charles Boycott was abrasive, and he had very set views on the social order, and he felt that some people were ordained to be over others.
Interesting.
So he's just a jerk. He's a
I've
bad,
actually
shitty
met
landlord.
rich people who behave that way.
Mm-hmm.
Seriously.
And the British at the time, to them, all the Irish were scum.
They thought they were apes. Like they would
Yeah.
be depicted in like political cartoons as apes.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
at the time, it's crazy.
And yeah, this
Those aren't the apes. The apes are. Well, when we did John A. MacDonald, we talked about him using tactics on the indigenous that he learned from the British on how they thought and dealt with the Irish. Sad.
Yes.
Brutal.
So we're in 1880. 114 years before Nevermind was released.
Time's jumping.
I know. Jump around. It's a bad harvest this year. And remember how farmers only get 1-year leases on their farms in Ireland?
Yeah, never
Yeah.
Because
forget
of
it.
those damn British landlords?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So all these farmers can't pay their rent because it was a bad harvest. Not their fault.
Right.
So days after Mr. Parnell gave that stirring speech about shunning, Charles Boycott goes, sorry, 11 farmers. I'm evicting you, 11 of you. So now there's this tension. There's already been tension, this unfair situation. Everyone's pissed off. So the community goes, hey, remember Parnell's suggestion to shun people? Let's all shun Charles Boycott.
OMG.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
Yes.
That is like, oh my God.
And
That is like when you see the rest of the Avengers show up to help fight Thanos.
These farmers are gonna get Charles Boycott's ass.
Yeah.
They're boycotting the OG.
And just to reiterate, boycott was not a verb at this time. No one said
Right.
you're boycotting something.
So the second
Did
time
not
it was
exist
used
as a
on
word.
another guy, they remembered this time and said, let's boycott his ass.
100% yes.
Well, and they're like, what do you mean? You know, like shunning Charles Boycott. We'll do it again to him. It's like boycott.
It'd be like if Chris, like, you know, you've probably done it with like thousands of girls or whatever.
Yes.
It'd be like if we called that locking,
Right.
having sex, locking.
Fucking.
All right. So.
I just locked you. Oh, God.
Ew.
You don't want to be locked.
So Charles Boycott, he's tried to evict these 11 farmers. And according to British law at the time, to be evicted, you had to be served an eviction notice. An eviction notice had to be served to the head of your household. So when authorities would come to serve the eviction notice to these 11 farmers, a signal went out and a group of women showed up to shower constables with rocks and manure. I don't know if they were mixed or separate.
They picked up the manure to throw it.
Yeah, it's kind of. I hope they wore gloves. So the authorities weren't able to serve notices to these 11 farmers. Word of this revolt started to spread. The servants and staff who worked for Charles Boycott were convinced to quit. The movement spread even to the local village. The blacksmith and mailman refused to serve Boycott. Boycott tried to get his nephew to deliver his mail. I don't know how, but he was threatened, so that didn't work. Soon all the shopkeepers refused to sell anything to Boycott.
Oh my
He
God.
had to get all his supplies by boat.
This is amazing. Ha ha ha. The blacksmith boycotts Charles Boycott. Ha ha. I would love to see Charles trying to put his own horseshoes on his own horse.
Yeah.
Ha ha ha.
How's Charles Boycott going to buy chips now?
Can I have some chips? Door locks, window
Hello?
shutters closed. I just need chips. Anyone? I saw
Any
you.
flavor?
I see you eating chips in the window.
1 ticket for challengers, please. Hello? Hello?
He writes a letter. Send chips in boat.
So Charles Boycott found himself a marked man, not fearing violence, but even worse, the scorn, silence, and disdain of simply everyone he encountered.
This is also the origin of the script for Planet of the Apes. Because you said the British thought of them as apes.
Oh,
And now they rise up and are
Yeah,
dominating
kind of.
Charles Boycott.
Don't you just hate Charles Boycott so far?
No, he's a piece of fuck.
Don't like him. Fuck him.
So now,
Stab him 3 times.
stab him 3 times on the ceiling if you want me.
I'll be outside waiting for you to stab him. When you've stabbed him thrice, I'll know you're nice.
So-
I'll come in and cook some rice.
So like we mentioned, now people start using the word boycott as a verb. This is the origin of the word boycott
My God.
from this guy.
Perfect.
So Boycott, he's there in County Mayo, and he's upset. He's so entitled. He thinks, oh, I'm going to write a letter to the Times, the very influential and important British newspaper. So Charles Boycott wrote this. I edited it a little bit down, but he wrote, "The following detail may be interesting to your readers as exemplifying the power of the Land League. On the 22nd of September, a process server, escorted by a police force of 17 men, retreated to my house for protection, followed by a howling mob of people who yelled and hooted at the members of my family. The people collected in crowds upon my farm, and some 100 or so came up to my house and ordered off under threats of ulterior consequences all of my farm laborers, workmen, and stablemen, commanding them to never work for me again. The shopkeepers have been warned to stop all supplies to my house, and I have just received a message from the postmistress to say that the telegraph messenger was stopped and threatened on the road when bringing out a message to me. The locks on my gates are smashed, the gates thrown open, the walls thrown down, and the stock driven out onto the roads. I can get no workmen to do anything, and my ruin is openly avowed as the object of the Land League unless I throw everything up and leave the country. I say nothing about the danger of my own life, which is apparent to anyone who knows the country."
Wow. That was amazing. And also, this episode is amazing because it shows 2 things. One, James's incredible diversity as a voice actor. So
you.
hire James.
Thank you. Oh, God.
And
please.
also, it kind of shows how I can do a few different variations of myself. And Mike's chilling a bit, but
Well, we did 2 episodes in a day, and Mike.
I
Mike
didn't want
led
you to
the-
give it
Oh,
away.
sorry, I shouldn't have said it. Mike's
I'm-
probably tired.
I wanted it to feel fresh and new.
I'm powering down.
No, you
No,
just got a
you're
little
not.
bit more. Okay.
Say a joke right now.
Say the word Huberman.
Huberman.
Usually that makes you laugh.
Huberman Lab. Oh, something smells off in the Huberman Lab.
Did you
Make
see?
a joke about Charles Boycott right now.
Charles
Mike
Boy-
is so good at thinking on his feet and making jokes.
Oh,
Quick jokes, right?
yeah, he is.
Quick wit.
If back in those days, if I had to boycott him, I wouldn't send him a message 5 times a week reminding him that I'm doing a show and that he should maybe consider buying tickets. I would not send him that message because I would boycott him.
Oh, you're doing the
okay.
reverse
Yeah.
boycott psychology.
Mhm.
I like
Speaking
it.
of Andrew Huberman, did you see that article came out that called him a sort of an asshole?
He's the one that
Yeah.
says to look at the sun first thing when you wake up
Yeah,
and have a cold shower.
yeah, and like
What's wrong with him? Is he a weirdo? For sure.
I think he
right?
was horrible to women, but I didn't actually
Oh,
read the article. I
God.
just read people talking about it.
Women don't look at the sun in the morning.
I did an experiment in my lab where I was awful to women.
I was working in my lab late one night when women hated me.
I did the mash, the Huber mash.
Hey, Mash. Don't you sing it. I don't like you.
So
he cried like a bitch to the newspaper.
He did, and this, but this became a major story in the British press, and the Daily Express and Daily Telegraph raised money to send 50 Protestant farmers from the north down to help Boycott harvest his crops. But to do this, they had to hire 1,000 police officers to protect the farmers, so it ended up costing way more than the value of the crops themselves.
I don't know like what my family background is. Like I got a mix of this, mix of that all over the place. It's everybody tells a different story, but I think I've got some British in me for sure.
Mm-hmm. I do too.
But man, at this time the British were pussies.
They were definitely assholes.
They were a-holes. Oh well.
So Boycott, he's just things kind of suck for him now. He tries to go to Dublin, but he can't get a ride. He finds a way to get there, but the hotel he's staying at is threatened with
Did he hitchhike to Woodstock?
So he gets to Dublin, and then he stays in a hotel, but then that hotel was threatened with a boycott for hosting Boycott.
I love this.
Yeah.
Boycott follows him around. His own name that his family manufactured.
Yeah.
Becomes the stink of the rest of time.
Yeah.
I love it.
It is an ultimate shame to have your last name mean something shitty, I think.
Yeah, it's like your last name being like Diddy or Drake.
So the actions against Boycott,
modern and hip.
these boycotts spread across Ireland, and dozens of other examples of boycotts against shitty landlords popped up. These boycotts, this movement, drove Parliament to take action. And in 1881, a new Ireland land law was passed. It was one of the most important pieces of legislation passed in decades in Ireland. The farmers got their 3 Fs that they were hoping for.
Lads, we got our 3 Fs.
Woo! Oh, I was trying to think of an Irish ditty, and I almost went. Wipe out. Come on, lads. Guinness.
Three Fs.
And also, this whole thing about farmers only getting 1-year leases.
Yeah.
Now there would be a minimum of a 15-year lease on farms.
Hey, we did it. Charles Brunel for king.
Break out the good soda bread. We're celebrating tonight. We got our 3 Fs.
And we're going to add one more F tonight.
We're going to F that potato.
So this was one of the most successful tactics ever used against the British in Ireland.
We are the champions, my friend.
Oh, God. I feel like I wish I would take my time machine back to Ireland on that day and just celebrate like crazy.
Yeah.
And
when did the Irish kick the British out?
fun.
1917? The Easter Uprising?
I think that the uprising was a failure, but by 1921 or 22, they got home rule. And it was like, I didn't believe, was that the same?
I thought it was 1917.
Well, there was.
Mike knows about every rebellion.
Well, 1916 was the Easter Rising. Don't. Maybe you're right. I know.
No, you could be right.
Irish
too.
history is so complicated.
Yeah.
There's like.
Yeah, because it always happens.
Long story short, in about 20, 25 years, other than Northern Ireland, they got the British out of there.
Yeah.
So, Boycott ended up leaving the country, and after leaving Ireland, he visited the United States, and it was like a big deal. He was like famous as the boycott guy. When he arrived in New York, the New York Tribune wrote, "The arrival of Captain Boycott, who has involuntarily added a new word to the language, is an event of something like international interest."
I'm so sorry.
No.
I'm really excited they even said it in his lifetime.
He knew.
He's like, shit.
Well, get this. In 1888, just 8 years after it was first used, the word boycott appeared in the Oxford English dictionary.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's one of the most ultimate burns on the planet.
Yeah.
In the history of life in the universe.
I know. It's pretty wild.
Boycott.
So he moved back to England and he died in 1897.
Wow.
So for
Who
about
cares?
Did the coffin makers boycott his business and the cemetery boycotted him? He just was left to rot in the street.
I did read that his widow was sued for funeral expenses and other debts that he hadn't paid, and she had to sell a bunch of their assets to pay for it all. So kind of was bad.
He must have wanted to change his name back to Boycat.
Oh, imagine. Oh, my God. If he never changed his name from Boycott, we'd all be saying, hey, we should boycott that business.
And then everyone would think we're from like New York.
Yeah.
Hey, let's boycott that. Honestly, though, like, that's one of the hardest tales of retribution I've ever heard against
I
one
agree.
jerk.
It's sort of
Bloodless,
a
like,
weirdly
you know? Yeah, you're
euphoric
right.
story. It feels amazing.
I feel like we won
We did.
just now.
They made him
We did.
feel like he was just like a ghost, like a
Yeah.
non-entity.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
And then his name is shamed for the rest of time.
Did he
And
ever?
Charles Purnell
Yeah.
led the charge. That's why
Yeah.
all of Ireland like loved him. They literally thought that he should have, or some people thought he should have been like the king of Ireland. But then he had this like public scandal with like an affair,
Oh.
and certain Irish clergymen like turned on him, and so it was a real rift in
I wish he
between
hadn't
Irish
gotten
people.
horny.
It's hard not to, especially when you're just gaining all that momentum and having power and stuff.
Given those stirring speeches. Mm.
Did
Yeah.
Charles?
Don't boycott me, man.
Well, I thought we had something. Did Charles Boycott ever apologize or try and make amends and say like maybe I was a bit of an asshole, I'm sorry, or
I read
No.
nothing of that. Nothing of that.
he learned nothing. He learned nothing.
He was like
My God.
arrogant ass to the end, probably.
Right.
Probably.
These loonies.
I'm sure he saw it as, an injustice to him.
Yeah. That's.
I
they
feel a
should make
little
it-
bad that his wife suffered there, but
Yeah.
There should be a movie about that, about this uprising. I'm sure there is. There must be some Irish
I
movie.
know.
starring-
Yeah. What a suggestion by Liz. I don't know
Yeah.
if there's any movies about it.
yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, but it would be a great
Who's
film.
the Irish
The
actor?
boycott of the barley.
Who's the Irish guy who's on that Star Trek series?
Oh, Cole Meany?
Cole Meany could play. He could play Parnell.
Yes.
And Hugh Grant can play Boycott or
Oh,
someone who's like a
yeah.
mean.
a British mean
And
guy.
Hugh Grant likes playing villains now
Yeah.
because he played cutesy guys in the 90s. So
Vinnie
much.
Jones.
Vinnie Jones. Who's that actor who played Brutus in Rome? And he's in tons of stuff. Like, he's got a face you'd really recognize. I don't have Wi-Fi here. Whatever. Yeah, Hugh Grant.
Oh, are you talking about?
You know what I'm talking about? He's like got brown hair.
His name's Killian as well. He's older guy.
He's really
with his
good.
real stone face.
Yeah, and kind of a big nose. He's skinny.
I'm looking it
he's
up.
really
I'm looking
good
it up
guy.
because I think you might be talking about.
Oh, maybe.
Oh, is it Pete? No, Pete Postlethwaite.
no,
may
it's
have
not.
been
It's
passed
not. But
by
that guy.
point.
Yeah.
I'm looking it up
All right,
right
look it up. He's like one of those classic character actors that you know his face, but you might not know his name. But when he's in something, you go, "Oh, that guy's good."
Daniel Radcliffe.
Here we go. Yeah, that's that guy.
Oh, Tobias Simpson Menzies. He's in
Tobias
like,
Menzies.
He's in like Game of Thrones, and yeah, he's really good.
He'd be good
He was in something.
as a Boycott.
Good call.
Menzies is an odd last name. Doesn't that mean menstruation? Like as a term?
I guess it can, yeah, but
I got the
Although we know-
Menzies.
I guess we know people with that last name.
Hey,
so
we
it's
have the
not a
same
bad last name.
birthday. We have the same birthday.
You and Tobias Menzies?
Yeah.
Holy shit, this is fucking crazy, dude.
this is an Evil Man exclusive.
Wow.
Give him a call. Your birthday, brothers.
Yo, get me in some shows.
Yo, Tobias, it's your friend Chris.
Well, I don't know if I can. We have the same birthday.
He's in The
Oh,
Crown. He played
absolutely.
Duke of Adam. He played Philip in one of the seasons of The Crown.
That's crazy. People are filming us and yelling at us
Yeah.
through the window.
Well, James, thank you for telling us the wild and inspirational story of Charles Boycott.
My pleasure. It was fun to look up, and what a great fun story.
Maybe I'll start shunning my landlady in the shops and on the green pastures when she takes 4 months to replace my broken oven, like she did last summer.
Oh.
4 months.
What's her last name?
I'm not going to say it, but it's not Irish and it is Italian.
How old is she? I mean, is she
You
old?
should say her.
80?
She's 80.
Yeah.
You should her
You
last
gotta
name
take
her.
down this
Yeah.
chick.
Yeah.
80?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just because you're 80, who the fuck do you think you are?
Yeah.
Yeah, great suggestion, Liz, from the
Mm.
Discord. Did you say?
Yeah, I looked on topic suggestions on the Discord.
And great work, James.
Thank you. It was fun.
Thank you, James.
Oh,
Now,
I'm touched.
oh my
James,
God.
you really did
Is
a
it
good
time-
job.
Is it time for the...
Evilometer.
Oh, here it comes. It's the Evilometer. Oh no, he's running. He's being chased by an angry mob of Irish farmers and their families. And he's wearing a captain's badge on his military uniform. And he doesn't learn from his mistakes.
Oh, Evilometer, you fool. So, gentlemen, what score would you give Charles Boycott on the evil scale from 1 to 10?
I'm banning this entire enterprise, actually.
Oh,
I'm boycotting it.
I'm boycotting it too.
Yeah. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Wow. in
He's so
protest.
shitty
Yeah.
that we're boycotting even. He doesn't deserve to be on the Evilometer.
Wow. Does this kind of benefit him, though, because he's not being called evil? But no, I like it. I like it.
All right.
No, I like it. I like it. It's okay. We can
I'll
boycott
give him a
it.
7.5. He's bad landlord, really bad guy. And it's funny that he was made to feel sad. He probably shed some landlord's tears while he was feeling.
That sounds like an expensive whiskey.
landlord. What is it? Isn't there one called writer's tears?
Yeah.
Landlord's tears just shows a guy in his massive house crying because no one will deliver his mail.
Because the capital gains
Yeah.
tax increased by 1%.
yeah.
I'm giving him a 6 because he's shit. And 6 is still good. Like on an Evilometer?
Yeah, man.
Like
Yeah.
he didn't kill anybody.
No, 6 is high. I mean, I think my brain is telling me it's sort of low, but my heart is
Yeah.
telling me, 6.2. Just because,
Yeah.
screw you, Charles Boycott.
Charles Boycott, not welcome here at Bar Bazaar.
No, nor the homes of the Palazzo family, the Locke family, or the Hartnett family.
Absolutely.
Stay out.
Well, do we have anything to promote at the end of this long and winding road?
I'm helping someone sell furniture from their parents' old house, so if anyone wants a good deal on a couch, DM me on Instagram. How about
Sick,
that?
dude?
Yeah.
This is coming out a week from now.
Oh,
Will you
yeah?
still be doing
I'll
that?
still be doing it. Yeah.
Oh, sick.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's dope.
I
That's
have
fucking dope, dude.
Oh, thanks.
I have, just like you, Chris, I'm doing a preview of my Edinburgh show again in May. This month, it's May 29th at Comedy Bar on Bloor.
Ooh.
It's on Wednesday night, and tickets will be on sale, I think, as soon as this episode is out.
Oh, I wish I could open for that again because it was so fun last time.
Oh, and you know what we should mention as well? It's not 100% locked in. I'm trying to get it official, but we're gonna have a lot. We're aiming to have a late June live show,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
and you know, I hopefully by the next episode we'll have official lock it in. But
Right,
we're-
the Evil
I
Men
think-
Live is finally coming back.
Yeah, I think it will be.
We need to do it more often, but
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Don't change your plans for this yet, but it's like June 22nd-ish. I think that's
block
what
off June.
Yeah,
Block off all June.
in Toronto.
So yeah, you mentioned the Edinburgh thing, Mike. I forgot. Yeah, so Two Sailors Who Are Nuts, which is me and Sean Cullen dressed like sailors, singing shanties and saying nonsense for an hour. We're doing some practice shows of that May 10th, 11th, 17th, and 18th at the Comedy Bar in the East End in Toronto, which is Danforth. On the Danforth at those are 11 p.m. shows. So yeah, I know East End 11 p.m. sounds a bit nuts, but I feel like that's also what will make the show pretty awesome. It'll be bizarre,
For
weird,
sure.
fun way to ring in the midnight.
Ooh, ring in the midnight.
So yeah, Chris and Sean are Two Sailors Who Are Nuts, and that's what our show is going to be called when it goes to Edinburgh. Man, I love doing these super fun episodes of
And that's a wrap.
We nailed it.